Hello and welcome to CoreTV News on this hour. I am Nena Nyama. The All Progressive Congress APC's governorship candidate at the Kogi State election, late Abubakar Audu, who died on Sunday, has been buried today in his hometown, Ogbonicha, in Ofu local government area of the state. His residence was flooded with his deputy, Abiodun Falake, dignitaries and sympathizers who came to express condolences with his family. The Senate President Bukola Saraki has described as painful and shocking the death of the former governor of Kogi State and governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Abubakar Audu. In a statement today, Senator Saraki said a late politician died as a dogged and visionary leader. He recalled the tenacity of purpose and unwavering loyalty of the deceased, whom he said remained committed to the cause of his people and his party to the very last moment of his life. The Senate President also condoled with his immediate family, the government and people of Kogi State, and the national and state executives, as well as members of the All Progressive Congress, APC. Also, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has expressed shock over the sudden death of the candidate of the All Progressive Congress in last Saturday's Kogi State governorship election, Prince Abubakar Audu. In a statement in Abuja today, the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Olisa Metu, said the issue of election is not important to the party, adding that at this critical moment it would refrain from comment on the conduct of the said election. He extended condolences to the family of Prince Abubakar Audu and the APC. Metu disclosed that the acting national chairman of the PDP, Uche Secondus, has charged all PDP members in Kogi and across the nation to keep Prince Audu, his family and loved ones in their prayers as they mourn with them and the people of Kogi State over this monumental loss. Lagos lawyer Festus Keyamo says Audu Abubakar's running mate James Falake has the constitutional backing to run as the party's candidate with the death of the All Progressive Congress governorship candidate in Kogi State. In a statement, Keyamo emphasized that the duo ran a joint ticket, which has already been allocated votes before the election was declared inconclusive. He, however, conceded that the Constitution does not envisage the death of a candidate in the middle of an electoral process, arguing that the closest scenario to what happened was in 1999 when Atiku Abubakar became Vice President soon after emerging as a Damara State governor. Keyamo noted that the same constitutional provision of Section 181, subsection 1, is the best in this situation, adding that the party would have to choose a running mate for Falake in the next phase of the Kogi State governorship election. After the confirmation of Abubakar Audu's death by the state government, our correspondent Rashid was on the street of Lokoja to feel the pulse of residents on the sad development. The report.
This popular street in Lokoja is always a beehive of activity, but the fact that it's just an election weekend, coupled to the fact that it's a Sunday, and now that it's just having the news of the death of Abubakar Audu, the All Progressive Congress candidate, the streets, which is always bubbling, is now at its low ebb. People who are discussing in hushed tones the death or the rumored death of Abubakar Audu, which is not being confirmed by the state government, could not hide their shock and surprise at such a mirage and mysterious death, which would take away Abubakar Audu at this point when he is coasting to victory in this election. And to the man on the street, it may be one thing that may not fix in a quick while. I have my friend here who is ready to share his experience over the death of Abubakar Audu. Aboki, okay. How are you?
Fine, sir.
When you hear the death of Abubakar Audu, how you feel?
Well, just my brother can't tell me, say, Abubakar that died. That thing they pay me. Well, I did can't ask you, what did he hear? You say, you did hear, and they fear that thing. That thing they pay me way. And since, if you know Africa self, I know they hear that from my district.
In fact, it's very sad and embarrassing. We pray may Almighty Allah grant him eternal rest. And may the Almighty Allah, who have rescued us and later lead to death, bring someone that will rescue Kogi, but not PDP any longer.
It's still an election weekend where political intrigues and intricacies are still on. But here is creating another lacuna or creating another issue, as this is just coming up in the democratic polity of this country. How this will play out, only time will tell. Rashid, CoreTV News, Lokoja.
Meanwhile, legal practitioners have been making comments over how the country would proceed with the Kogi State governorship election following the death of the All Progressive Congress governorship candidate. Speaking on the issue on Sunday, Second Republic politician and legal icon Dr. Tunji Braithwaite said the demise of Prince Abubakar calls for a fresh governorship election in Kogi State. He says if the front runner in an election dies, the next person with a higher vote cannot automatically be declared winner. His views were shared by Barrister Wale Ogunade, constitutional lawyer and human rights activist, who says a fresh election must be conducted according to the law. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has declared the November 21 governorship election in Kogi State inconclusive. The Electoral Board said its decision was reached after a collation of results showed a number of cancelled votes that was higher than the margin between the leading candidate and the runner-up. The candidate of the APC had 240,867 votes, while that of the PDP got 199,514 votes. The Commission said 49,953 votes were cancelled, which was higher than the margin between the leading candidate and the runner-up. No date has, however, been fixed by INEC for a supplementary election.
It's 41353. The total number of registered voters in the polling units cancelled or where elections were not held is 49,953. 49953. Applying the provisions of 199,514 votes. The margin between the two political parties is 41353. Margin is 41353. The total number of registered voters in the polling units cancelled or where elections were not held is 49,953. 49953. Applying the provision units where elections were cancelled or not held, declined to make a return until another poll has taken place and the results incorporated into a new form from EC8D and subsequently recorded into form EC8E for declaration and return. Unquote. Applying the provisions of the above quoted guidelines, therefore, the total number of registered voters of the polling units where elections were cancelled or not held is in excess of the margin of winning between the two leading candidates. Consequently, this election is therefore inconclusive.
The senator representing Kogi West Senatorial District, Dino Melai, has described INEC's declaration of the Kogi governorship election inconclusive as delayed victory for the All Progressive Congress, while members of the People's Democratic Party and other parties hailed the outcome of the election.
We needed to educate them, and I'm happy the returning officer has done the good thing that he ought to do. In fact, he has done the needful. Now, the next thing is they are going to order a supreme election in those 91 polling units, and the party will go ahead and prepare and go back to those units.
I want to assure you that going by the pattern of voting, there is nowhere on local government or polling units that there was 50% compliance with the eligible voters. So it's victory delayed.
The decision is in line with the Electoral Act and it's okay by me and my party.
CoreTV News on this hour continues shortly after this break. Just stay with us.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to your husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Because some people will stand for Yoruba land, will be strong man. We don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
Is it warcracy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trade looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face.
They don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I say to hell.
On Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
Glad to have you back. You're still watching CoreTV News on this hour. For more of our news stories, join us on our social media platforms, facebook.com/CoreTV News. On Twitter at CoreTV News NG. And on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV Liverspace News. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has denied claims that he awarded a $2 billion arms procurement contract, contrary to reports of a presidential investigations committee into arms procurement under his administration. The committee had said that the Jonathan administration claimed to spend $2.2 billion to procure arms that were never bought. It also accused the former National Security Advisor, Sambo Dasuki, of supervising the contract. Dasuki had said in response to his current indictments over the alleged embezzlement of funds meant for multi-billion naira arms deals for Nigeria's anti-terrorism war, that allegations against him were simply unfounded and that all arms contracts were approved by President Jonathan. He said allegations from the presidency were nothing short of propaganda. Bayelsa State Governor Serake Dixon has urged his followers to be confident of victory in the December 5 election in the state and not to be afraid of those in the opposition. Dixon spoke during his campaign rally in Amasama, southern Ijaw local government area of the state. He affirms that there is no room for other parties in the state, especially in the forthcoming governorship election. Dixon told the party faithful that with their support, the PDP would come out victorious in the election. The Nigeria Labour Congress says the recent declaration by the Nigerian Governors Forum that it could no longer sustain the 18,000 naira minimum wage is a declaration of war on Nigerian workers. The NLC President Ayuba Waba, in a statement on Sunday, said the Congress would mobilize workers against the attempts by the NGF to reverse the minimum wage. The NGF chairman, Governor Abdulaziz Yari of Adamawa State, had said after a meeting of the forum that the minimum wage was imposed on the governors when the price of oil was $126 in the international markets as against the prevailing $41. He said the minimum wage came into being in 2011 after 2 years agitation by the labor movement and negotiations. The NLC expressed shock over Yari's statement that the 18,000 Naira national minimum wage promulgated into law in 2011 was no longer sustainable because of the fall in the price of crude oil. Activist Nnamdi Kanu has appeared in court to face charges of treasonable felony. He was brought before an Abuja magistrate court by the Department of State Service. Kanu, who was the director of the band Radio Biafra, arrived in the court today at about 10:30 a.m. amidst heavy security. We'll take another break now, return with more stories to stay with us.
The man on the streets have come to realize that the power to make decisions lies in the hands of the people.
I don't think the election. 5 local government out of the 30 local government is more than many states in the north. The economy is booming. Where is the economy booming? Blast in Abuja. Don't you have security? Why are we fighting? President should not just sit in Abuja or in Asokoro or wherever he lives. States are supposed to go around. They know them. States cannot be there and be here at the same time. Life of the citizens, community need to be protected.
It can't work out.
Bring the message of peace. Let there be proper devolution of power from the center. The center is too powerful.
He's trying to do the best, but people are hasting. Why are you hasting? Why are you hasting? Why are you hasting? Well, let's come.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Glad to have you back. On the foreign scene, Mali's president has questioned claims that Al-Marabiton, an Al-Qaeda-linked group, was responsible for last week's assault on a luxury hotel in the capital, Bamako. Addressing journalist, President Ibrahim Boubacar Keita said despite early speculation, his intelligence suggested another group, the Masina Liberation Front, was responsible for it. It will be recalled the members claiming to be part of Al-Marabiton quickly claimed responsibility for the attack, saying it carried it out in coordination with Imarat al-Sara Group and Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb. The November 20 assault on the Radisson Blu Hotel is the latest in a series of deadly raids this year on prominent targets in Mali, which has battled various armed groups based in its desert north for years. Belgian security forces have arrested 16 suspects believed to have ties to the deadly attacks in Paris. Police carried out multiple raids across the country, targeting 19 locations overnight in the capital, Brussels, and in the city of Charleroi, 75 kilometers to the south. The federal prosecutor, Eric van der Sijt, said an investigative judge would decide their further detention. However, a Belgian national, Salah Abdussalam, believed to have been involved in the November 13 attacks in the French capital and currently in hiding in the Brussels area, was not arrested in the operation. And finally, conservative opposition candidate Mauricio Macri has won Argentina's presidential election, ending 12 years of leftist rule. Argentina's election body said Macri had 53% of votes and Scioli had 47%, with returns in from 3/4 of polling stations. Addressing supporters after the ruling party candidate Daniel Scioli conceded defeat, Macri promised that a marvelous new era was starting for the country. Macri's win ends a political era dominated by Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner and her late husband Nestor Kirchner. And that's it on CoreTV News on this hour. Thank you so very much for watching. I am Nena.